Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a bit of a day in the life plant chores vlog with all of you, showing you everything that I get up to, both planty and some personal stuff as well, because I haven't shared something like that on here in a little while, and I thought it'd be fun to bring y'all with me. But before we get into all of that, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet, so if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Let's get into this day. So first things first, I desperately need to water a whole chunk of my collection. I know a lot of my moss poles are fully dry at this point, and my syndapsus are feeling curly and my philodendrons are wilted. I basically just need to do a big old water, so let's get into that first. I'm actually tempted to bring some of these moss poles into the bathtub just to get them really thoroughly hydrated. They've gone like really crackly at this point, and I just know they'll do better with like several hours to like properly soak up some water, and I think they'll just really appreciate it from me. I don't know about all of you, but this time of year especially, I get myself all hot and freaking sweaty watering my plants. I think it's just because it's so warm here in the UK and it's really muggy today, and so I've worked up a sweat, and doing like the whole collection at once is quite tiring. So I am going to take a little bit of break from plant care and actually work on my art journal for today. I've had to remove Cleo from my chair, so she's going to be an extra during this. But I briefly wanted to talk about my art journaling and how I got into it. So I kind of started it because I wanted to get back into a sort of mindful, more reflective practice and practice some of my art again. I haven't done art in years, especially on a daily basis, and so I started doing an art journaling course over on Skillshare, who've actually kindly sponsored this video today. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of different courses led by industry experts, and their courses range from everything from art journaling, which I'm doing, to graphic design, cooking, lifestyle and productivity things, and more. The classes offer a more learn by doing approach to teaching, where you can submit a project at the end of your course and get feedback from fellow members and even potentially the teacher of the course. And I love how Skillshare has a more on-demand approach to learning, so I can do the courses as and when I want around my own busy schedule. I recently finished my first course this time around with Skillshare, which was the 14 days of art prompts, and I'm really excited because the person who made that course actually has a sequel to it where I have 14 more days of art prompts to get into. So I'm really excited to get started on those now. And Skillshare have very kindly given me a link to share with all of you, so the first 500 people to click the link down below in the description will get a month of free Skillshare so you can get started learning today. So thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Cleo and I are going to get into my art journaling for the day. So I just finished my art journal for the day. I'm actually really loving it. So the prompt was greetings from, which you could interpret it however you want, but I really fancied drawing the Conwy Castle because I was in Conwy this past weekend, which is up in North Wales, celebrating my friend's birthday, and so I kind of took it as like journaling a reflection of the weekend, which is good. I put some feelings in there. I'm starting to do that as well, which is fun. But I'm now feeling nice and cooled down after the sweat of watering, so I think we can get back into some plant chores. I think, what's next? I've written them down. Oh yeah, I needed to do some work on some of the poles. I think the poles in the bathroom should be dry by now, so we can do the little bits I need to do on those before continuing. Right, so I obviously need to put some more moss in my Cebu Blue pole because it is over the top of the moss at this point. And I just keep hoping that this one eventually fenestrates. I genuinely don't know if it will though. It kind of doesn't feel like it ever will. So we're just gonna hope and pray that it does. Just using my Soil Ninja moss as per usual. Nothing different about that. I'm just gonna stuff this pole as much as possible. I feel like I'm nearly gonna need to put it to the top, just because it, like, this one grows quite quickly, and I feel like if it doesn't have something to grow into, it's not gonna keep sizing up, because I feel like, not that it's sizing down, but it feels like it might be. I don't know, I just really want this one to grow well. And thus far, it is like, it grows well, it just isn't maturing, which is something I would love it to do. There we go. I've also spilled loads of moss on the floor. That's okay, I can help her. Just gonna close up this side. There we go. And I can put this back in its spot. Oh, and I need to pop the Majestic bottom, or I guess top cut prop that I've been propping into the bottom of that pole as well. So I can grab that. Just gonna Now I just have to hope that this one roots into the pole. I think it will. It's sticking quite well. And now it's got bigger leaves at the bottom, which is kind of good because there's a bit of a gap there. And I need to take some of these leaves off as well, a couple yellow ones. But hopefully that fills it in slightly nicer. Also, super exciting. Look at that on my Tycon. It is putting out a new leaf, and I like to think it's because I put it on the pole, but I don't know. I don't even know if it's rooted into it or not, but I'm just glad it's putting out a new leaf. That's so exciting, and it looks fenestrated and variegated, so all of the things we want. Another moss pole-y thing that I need to do is I need to take some of the plastic off, or move it around at least, of the dubia moss pole, because it's actually started growing and I want that bit to have access to the moss so it can actually grow into it. So I need to figure out how to get this off easy enough. But it is growing so well now. Like, look how big these leaves are. They're absolutely massive. And I think it basically has started growing since I've kept this plastic on, which does make sense. But this might be kind of difficult. Maybe cutting it would be the easier thing to do. And I can still reuse this piece, so it's not like it's done for. There we go. That's better, and now I can put this underneath because I like having the moss cover, because y'all know, y'all saw how dry my other moss pools are. This one is still like pretty much fully moist, and like the only thing that's different about it is that it was covered in plastic. So that's good. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but it's okay. I already don't like the look of the plastic on there, so what's a little bit more? And I don't need to worry about it drying out. Literally, I barely ever water this moss pole, so if you're struggling with moss poles and you don't mind the look of the plastic wrap, highly recommend, because it works really well keeping the moisture in. And also, it kind of only works for ones with like quite wide internodal spacing, or plants that don't have too many leaves, because otherwise like I don't think it would work for something like my Savvy Blue or my Majestic, just because there's so many stems and so many leaves to go around. It just wouldn't work. But for something like this, it works perfectly. Just heating up some leftover rice and chili for lunch, and we're gonna watch some TV with it.
At 12:01 this morning, the city of Eagleton ceased to exist and was reabsorbed back into Pawnee.
just got back home. I had to do a couple of errands, but I got a couple things while I was out. One, I got new markers because I only have gray markers and a pink highlighter. So for my art journaling purposes, I told myself if I kept it up long enough, I would be able to get some markers. So I got some pretty colored markers. But I also stopped by the charity shop because I love going in there and seeing what kind of vessels they have that I can use for plant stuff. And they had two quite good ones that I liked. So the first is this here that I can use for no drainage. It's sort of like a glass one with like a silver rim on it, but I thought that was quite nice. Not normally like my sort of go-to, but I feel like for no drainage it works really well. And then this one I feel like is even better. Like, it is literally just a glass cylinder, and this will be perfect. I actually have a plant in mind for this one already. I think I want to put my Alocasia branchifolia in it because I think it'd be perfect to give that a little bit more, a little bit of a better situation, because right now it's in like a makeshift self-watering pot, and I feel like it would just do better in no drainage, full stop. So we can do that together now. Ooh, ooh. So this is my beast of a branchifolia pink passion, and y'all can see it's literally not in anything special, just a tower pot with some water at the bottom. And I think that is not good for its roots because they just get squished when I check it whether or not it needs watering. So putting it in something like this I think would make a lot more sense. So that's what we're gonna do. I feel like that's a good amount, I think. I keep touching my head. That's a good amount before I take the plant and put it in. So if we, oh, some different places. Looking good. And then I can just kind of plop it in there. And put the semi-hydro around it. I can do it a little bit deeper as well, so more of this stem can be covered. There we go. I feel like that's perfect for it. Like, look at that. I mean, it's still outrageously tall, but it's just a tall one. And I actually have an idea for in the office, which is where this one has been living thus far. And it's an area so that it gets more light from above, because everyone keeps telling me that alocasias prefer light from above. So, ooh, maybe we can do that this evening once Joe's done with work. Basically, I want to install a grow light. I have one from Soltech that is one of their like pendant lights, and so I really want to get that installed in a corner that like doesn't get any other light, basically. And I think this one would benefit from that light from above as well. But it's doing really well. It's just put out this new leaf otherwise. I also really want to put my Alocasia Frydek, the variegated one, into my pond box, because someone just suggested I put it into a prop box and just leave it, but I don't want to get rid of its pond roots by putting it into a moss prop box. So I've got a little clear cup, and I figure we can put it into I said cup, it's a pot. I figure we can put it into this with drainage, because right now it's just in a little, I think this was a candle jar. It never had a lid or anything, but I think it was for candles. And we could put it in there, and hopefully it'll do better in that situation, because also that place is, my pond box isn't as bright light wise, so I think that could help it quite a bit. There we go. And I mean, if it dies, it dies, but I hope that it doesn't, and maybe if it's in there and like I'm not thinking about it constantly, it'll actually produce some green on its leaves. So all we can do is cross our fingers. But let's go put that in there. I also desperately need to clean my pond box. I know I just did it, but it is dirty. Also, this begonia is doing fantastically, but let's just pop that in there and hopefully it will love its new home. But things in here are otherwise doing really well, even if the water is really dirty. I don't think it really matters if the water's dirty. Things are growing and not rotting, so we're good in here. I just never look in here. I always forget to, but it's nice. I was also over at my friend Lottie's the other day, and she gave me loads more of that Aeschylanthus Bolero bicolor, because hers is doing so well and mine is just, I'm struggling with it. So I figured I could pot these up and try and soil propagate them, just because I haven't had any success water propagating them, and I feel like it makes sense that soil prop would work. So I'm just going to remove the leaves from like the bottom portions of these sticks. And I would put it straight into my other one, but I will probably need to water this more than I would do. Which end's the new end? That end. I'm probably gonna have to water this more than I would normally water my Aeschylanthus. So I feel like it just makes sense to do it separately, and then I have kind of double the chance. And once these root, fingers crossed, I can go in and join them together into one big plant. But for the time being, just having them like this, I think makes the most sense. Some of these cuttings are absolutely gorgeous as well. Like, look at the sun stress on this one. It's gone all pink, which is super fun. And this last one's huge. But we're basically hoping that because some of these are like thicker, bigger, more mature stems than my previous ones, that they'll just do better. Little pot, and I can just put this in there for now. I know it doesn't fit perfectly, but put that in there for now. And I need to water this as well and put it in a warm, bright spot. I think that's the hard part, a warm, bright spot. Maybe I'll see if there's room in the Millsville, because I feel like that's the warmest, brightest. I've also just noticed how long this section of my heartleaf philodendron is. This is the non-variegated side, but I think I'm going to chop and prop it because I really only have 2 vines in this pot. So if I can get a couple more in there by propagating, then it could be a bit more of a full plant. So we can do that. I'm just gonna chop this into a few pieces so that we can you can prop it okay. And I've just got a cup here that I'm just gonna put moss in because it's the easiest propping for me, and because it's going into soil, I feel like that just makes the most sense.
Vegan mighty gyros wrap, gyros sauce, oregano fries, vegan salted caramel chocolate brownie.
Boom. So it's gotten to the point in the week, which I feel like this happens maybe every other week or so, where it gets late enough in the week and Joe and I are both just really tired, and so we end up ordering a delivery for dinner, which, I mean, isn't the healthiest of things, but I don't care. I'm excited for it. We've got gyros coming, which is exciting. Okay, so basically my plan is to put a grow light over this corner so I can put some plants that like a little bit more light in there. And I actually have this. I've been holding on to it for ages for this plant. So I've got the Soltech Aspect pendant light and their sort of Pinocchio hanger thing. And I'm going to install it above that so I can put some plants on that corner, because otherwise it is really, really dark. It really doesn't look like it in in the video, but it is. Yo. What are we doing, guys? Oh no, let's not push everything onto the floor.
Too late. You wanna get rid of it?
She's fine. Oh my goodness, that looks so good there. And I think the plants in this zone are going to love it. I can put some more, not necessarily high light plants here. I can put Cleos here. I just need to make sure she doesn't go for it. Aw, you don't like change, do you? It won't affect you, baby, I promise. And of course, I'm going to be putting it on one of my smart plugs. I think I have one of these in use, oh yeah, by my bedside. But I really love these. They're what I use all over the house. The Meros ones. Highly recommend. They just look like this. I'm to put the plants back. Maybe it'll allow this crystallinum to grow a bit more. I don't know if I necessarily want it to grow upwards, but right now it's very sprawly. I mean, it's fine, but I really want to put this in here because I have some plans for this one coming up. And I think it'll like the light there. And of course, the branchifolia can go here as well. And I think they'll like the light from above. I can always adjust this as well if I want to put it lower or higher in order to get more light in. And I could even put like another plant or two in this zone. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at these ones because I think I don't want to overcrowd the space too much. But let's do that. so good. Oh my god, these plants are gonna love this. And I really like the shadows it makes, especially with the branchifolia. These sort of like finger shadows. So freaking cute. This looks so good. Babe, you wanna come see it?
Oh, that's nice.
Doesn't it look good?
Yeah.
I love when things work out the way that I want them to. And this one wasn't even that hard to install either. But again, this has made me so hot and sweaty. It's just so muggy here in the UK at the minute. It's fine, but I don't think I have that much left in me for today, so I think Joe and I are just gonna go back to watching Big Brother on the couch. We're watching 2023 season. It's not even like up to date, but I really enjoy a good bit of trash reality TV, and so does Joe, so that's what we're going to do. But I think this is where I'm going to end this video, and I will see you in the next one. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a brilliant day. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye.